Good evening and welcome to today's meeting of the San Bernardino International Airport Authority. And at this time, I'd like to call to order the meeting. Today is Wednesday, September the 25th, 2024, and it's approximately 5:05 p.m. Madam Clerk, would you please do roll call?
Yes, certainly. Please state your name for the record. Member from the City of Colton.
Frank Navarro.
Member from the City of Loma Linda.
Dusty Rigsby.
Member from the County of San Bernardino 3rd District.
Dawn Rao.
Member from the City of Highland.
Penny Lowburn.
And members from the City of San Bernardino.
Theodore Sanchez. And Fred Charette.
Thank you. And I'd also like to...
normally need a mic.
Thank you. I'd also like to note for the record that member John Echevarria is in the audience.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, do we have any comment cards for closed session items?
No, sir, we do not.
Thank you. Legal counsel, would you please read it into closed session?
Thank you, sir. For closed session, we have 3 items on the agenda. Item number 1 is conference with real property negotiator pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.8 regarding the property located at 105 North Leland Norton Way in San Bernardino. Item number 2 is pending litigation pursuant to Government Code 54956.9 subsection A. The Commission will meet with the CEO and General Counsel related to pending litigation in Franco versus SBIAA. And item number 3 is pending litigation pursuant to Government Code 54956.9 subsection A. The Commission will meet with the CEO and General Counsel related to Lee versus SBIAA. Those are the 3 items we have.
Thank you. We will recess into closed session and reconvene shortly. Okay, we will now call to order our meeting after closed session. And Mr. Huber, would you please read us out of closed session?
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, on all 3 items in closed session, no reportable action was taken, direction was given.
Thank you very much. And now I'd like to call to order the open session. And if I could get Fred Charette to lead us in the pledge.
Please stand and join me as we salute our flag. Ready, begin.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Fred. Madam Clerk, do we have any items to be added or deleted?
No, sir, we do not.
Thank you very much. Conflict of interest disclosures, do we have any? And if you do, please make sure that our clerk gets the information from you on the item. Informational items, Mr. Burrow.
I'm going to ask Ms. Pritchett to start us off. We have some new faces that we want to introduce you to. Kat.
Thank you, Mike, and good afternoon, Commissioners. I am very excited to introduce one of the newest members of our administration team, Human Resources Manager Nydia Rivera. Nydia, if you could please stand. I'm excited too. Nydia worked for over 3 years as Assistant Director of Human Resources at Claremont graduate university, and the prior 6 as an HR professional in the private sector. She's 7 days on board, and she's already taken on projects. She's met 90% of the team, and she's just getting it done out there. So I, for one, am extremely happy to have her on board and wanted to give her a warm welcome. And I will kick it over to Jillian.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, commissioners. I'm also excited to welcome our newest member to the Clerk of the Board Department, Yahaira Maldonado. Thank you. She has joined us as the Deputy Clerk of the Board, and she brings with her a wealth of knowledge and experience from both the public and private sectors. So we are delighted to have her as a member of the team. Welcome.
Okay. Ladies, welcome to the family of the airport. Good luck to you in your tenure here. Mr. Burrows?
And then I'll hand it over to Mr. Barrow to give you the latest and greatest on our FAA project. Jeff?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So on the FAA project of our AOA access road, we are in our final stage of completion, and I'll bring it among you guys to do a closeout at our next board meeting.
Okay.
So for your bearings, that's the literally middle of the airfield. And just a reminder why that's important, because we are a TSA environment out there. There's secure areas that you're not supposed to drive across when you're not supposed to drive across them. This allows both our staff as well as tenants like Unical that have to get from one end of the airport to the other to be able to do so safely without incurring TSA fines, for lack of a better term. Exactly.
Yep. Okay.
And that concludes our reports.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item H, commission consent items 3, 4, 5, and 6. Any comments or questions? Any public comment?
No, sir, no public comment.
Chair will entertain a motion.
Move it.
Rigsby moves.
Second.
Mayor Lilburn seconds.
You said my name.
I practice it every day.
Thank you. We have a motion by Member Rigsby and a second by Member Lilburn. If you could please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Rao?
Yes.
Member Lilburn?
Yes.
Member Sanchez?
Yes.
And Member Charette?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Commission action items, item number 7. This is to consider and adopt a resolution number 2024-04 of the San Bernardino International Airport Authority, amending its conflict of interest code and authorizing submission of the amended conflict of interest code and 2024 local agency biannual notice to the County of San Bernardino. Our clerk, please, Jillian.
Yes, thank you. Good evening again, Commissioners. The Political Reform Act requires every local government agency to review its conflict of interest code biannually. A conflict of interest code tells public officials, governmental employees, and consultants what financial interests they must disclose on their Statement of Economic Interests Form 700. As indicated in Appendix A of the proposed resolution, 2 positions have been added since the agency's last review in 2022. These positions are Airport Terminal Manager and HR Manager. The proposed changes to the Conflict of Interest Code reflect the additional positions and accurately designate all positions as required by the Political Reform Act. Staff is requesting that the Commission consider and adopt Resolution 2024-04 of the San Bernardino International Airport Authority, amending its Conflict of Interest Code, and authorize the submission of the amended Conflict of Interest Code and the 2024 local agency biennial notice to the County of San Bernardino. Thank you, and I am available for any questions.
Thank you. No, I see no comments or questions. Public comment?
No, sir.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve item number 7.
Move it.
Second.
Rigsby moves. Supervisor seconds.
Thank you. We have a motion by Member Rigsby and a second by Member Rao. If you can please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Rao?
Yes.
Member Lilburn?
Yes.
Member Sanchez?
Yes.
And Member Charette?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 8. This is to approve and award a professional services agreement with ACOM Technical Services Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $664,115.63 for engineering design services of 2 airfield construction projects, reconstruct portion of taxiway A project, and slurry seal and airfield painting project. Mr. Gibbs.
Thank you, Mayor. As the airport has continued to grow and develop in recent years, it means that it's eligible for a lot of available FAA grant funding. So recently, the FAA reclassified San Bernardino International as a primary airport. But in addition to that, with the growth in air cargo now as a major cargo hub in the country, there are additional funds available through what's called the Airport Improvement Program. And that's what you saw with the project that Mr. Barrow shared earlier, and that's what these two projects are as well. So both of these airfield development projects are eligible for what are called entitlement funds for the airport as a primary airport, and that means that the design services, the FAA has a process that we follow in procurement of those engineering services. So for these two projects, we publicly advertised in newspapers of general circulation, as well as reached out to firms known to provide these types of services. And then we went through a process to ensure that we were getting a fair price for what they had proposed. So that price ended up at $664,115.63. And that is to complete the design for two projects, two airfield development projects, both of which will be funded through the AIP program. Once the projects, the design and specifications for the projects are complete, we'll bring that back to the commission so that we can publicly advertise for the construction of the project. And that'll be at a future date. But this one is to award a professional services agreement to AECOM Technical Services for those two engineering design projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gibbs. Public comment?
No, sir.
Thank you. Comments, questions from commissioners? See none? Chair will entertain a motion. Who said that? Oh, okay. Rigsby, motions. Charette, seconds.
Thank you. We have a motion by Member Rigsby and a second by Member Charette. If you can please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Rao?
Yes.
Member Lilburn?
Yes.
Member Sanchez?
Yes.
And Member Charette.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item 9, this is a review status of the action plan for San Bernardino International Airport. Mr. Burrows, please.
I'm going to be very brief. As Jeff mentioned, closing out our first FAA project of the year, and so just again, real kudos to the entire team, John and the ops crew for coordinating that. It doesn't necessarily look like a whole lot in the picture, but that's a pretty busy area of the airfield, and I just want to give you guys a big thank you for coordinating all that as we enter fourth quarter, and thankfully this is done in advance of that. So that concludes our report.
Thank you very much.
Chair.
Yes, go
Could
ahead.
Mike, could I get one request? When you have things like this, can you put those on your action plan somewhere so we can plan for these?
Sure.
It just helps us with our calendars, or helps me.
Sure.
I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, and
Okay.
again, you should see more emails coming on it. The date on this one was a pretty tough coordination because it entails coordination not just with Breeze but with TSA. But we'll make sure that
Okay,
future
thanks.
events will have that
Appreciate
as
that.
early as possible.
So, Madam Clerk, we have no added or deferred items?
No, sir, we do
No
not.
public comment?
No, sir.
Commission member comments?
Love the socks.
All right. This meeting is now adjourned. Our next meeting is October the 23rd, 2024.